Commander Uthok. And this tank was really pokey about pulling, I don't know why. Anyway, Uthok also has really 3 main abilities. He's a single phase fight. The first of his abilities you see coming up is called Dark Fissure. Basically what he does, he punches the ground, fucks up anyone under his fist, and puts an expanding pool of death on the floor. And for that reason he kind of has to get kited around the outside of the room so as to maximize the time you have to actually kill him. He also does an Enrage periodically. He does Curse of Fatigue, which can and should be dispelled if you have a decurse in the group. And then he does an ability called Squeeze, where he basically force chokes someone at about eye level with him for, I want to say it's like 8 to 10 seconds. Doesn't do very much damage, but if he squeezes your healer, your tank should be, if your tank feels uncomfortable, he should be popping cooldowns. And that's really all there is to this fight. If you don't have enough DPS to kill him, the room fills with black shit, and you die. It's really quite simple. So now we're moving ahead here to the gauntlet leading up to the final boss encounter in this instance. Basically you have to fight your way through this hall of unstable corruption, just little AoE trash mobs. They have about 10,000 health. And these tainted sentries, which are these tainted water elementals, that have 2 main things to worry about. The first is an ability called Swell, which is purgeable, or priest can use Dispel Magic to get rid of it. And then their second, which obviously Swell makes them hit harder and hurt your tank. Second ability you saw right there, when they die, they spawn a little pool of corruption and about 5 of the little unstable corruption garbage mobs. You have to fight a total of 4 of these sentries as you make your way down the hall. 1 right as you go in, this one we're fighting here, and then 2 by the gate. All the while, theoretically, your tank is controlling the ads, but in this case, not so much. I was wearing out my fade button in this hallway. Now, the Tainted Sentries, especially if they both get Swell, can actually still hit a pretty well-geared tank fairly hard. So, if you have the capability to get rid of their buff, do so. And one final note here, the unstable corruptions actually don't stop spawning until your group gets through the gate. Or rather, they never really stop spawning, but they stop aggroing on you once you get through the gate. And skipping ahead here, this is the Neptulon encounter. Basically, Azamat makes one last ditch effort to just corrupt the Water Lord here. It's a 3-phase fight. Phase 1 fight, alternating trash mobs, little packs of the Deep Murloc Dredgers, mob called a Vicious Mind Lasher, which is some combination of a Shadow Priest and a Warlock, and then an Unyielding Behemoth, who basically just is a faceless one that punches your tank in the face and does this Shadow Crash thing that you need to get the hell out of, regardless of who you are. Anyway, you end up fighting 3 or 4 packs of Murlocs, 3 Mind Lashers, and 3 Behemoths. There's actually an achievement for not killing, I think it's one of the behemoths, until you reach phase 3. But, it's an achievement. Who cares about achievements? I mean, you can see the DPS we had in this group was actually pretty good, so we were waiting around for mobs quite a bit. And I believe now we're getting ready to start phase 2. Yep. So in phase 2, these 3 faceless sappers come down and start channeling a mean, nasty spell on Neptulon. Your DPS's goal is to kill the sappers while staying out of the pools of ink that Ozymat starts vomiting throughout the entire arena. Meanwhile, your tank's job is to kite around the blight beasts that are spawning periodically throughout the encounter. As you can see, our tank was not doing a very good job of that. And once you kill all 3 sappers, then phase 3 begins. At which point Neptulon's like, "Roar, I am Waterlord," and these waters are cleansed. Except for the floor isn't so cleansed, because now Ozymat's really dumping ink all over the place. But you can attack him, and Neptulon superfies you, and you can do a shit ton of... That's how 3 DPS on a tank can kill a raid level boss. Anyway, basically, key to phase 3 is having enough DPS to kill Ozymat before your healer runs out of mana. And then you get him down to 1 health. He snakes Neptulon like a bitch. And you get loot. And congratulations, you've completed the Throne of the Tides. Anything I said that was completely horribly wrong, go ahead and leave in the comment section below. If you want to make fun of me, also leave that in the comment section below. I may read it, but probably not.